Welcome to the JBJ Management Podcast. I'm Willis Johnson with Samantha Gordon, and today, the little things. The little things. We want to talk a bit about leadership. When you went to college, when you were younger, did you think about, I want to be in a leadership role? Has that ever crossed your mind?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like that was ingrained for me specifically. I just kind of always had seen different family members in leadership roles, whether that was through an organization, whether it was through a company, whether it was through family. Like, you just kind of see different things, and I kind of always knew that I would say I have a strong personality a little bit. And so I always thought that that's kind of where I would push to.
I think you keep a cap on your personality here. And why is that?
Okay, well, that's good to know. I do feel it coming out in like certain areas.
More and more, yeah.
There's like certain projects and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, it has to come out here. It has to be there. But then I also know that there are some places where it's not necessarily needed. I just kind of know, read a room. So I kind of think that's what it is. It's coming out more and more, especially with more high profile projects, more projects that require a lot of hands-on. So definitely seeing a lot more.
From a leadership standpoint, I do think there are little things that people don't always pay attention to, and so sometimes it's the body language. As you know, I'm not a virtual person. I'm not a. You and I were in a meeting about a big project we're doing. We were doing it a little earlier, and I went in and out whether my camera was on. Your camera was never on. Why was that?
I actually didn't even realize that until we were halfway through the call. It was funny because when I get on, my camera on my laptop's always open. And so I just kind of assume it's always on. And then if I'm not looking right at the little box, I just kind of think it is. Normally it is, and I try and always be on because I want to have a presence. But it's also, sometimes we run into internet issues too, where I get the little orange dot that it's like, you are not being seen. Or when things start cutting in and out, like if they're cutting in and out, I always wonder where it is, so I'll turn it off. But really, I didn't even notice it at that point until because it was set up a little bit different than what we're normally used to. And so I didn't even realize it.
It's hard for me to have a serious conversation if I'm not in the same
talking to
room.
a letter.
I just and okay, call me old school, but that's one of the little things to me about leadership. I remember Sarah Palin was chosen as the vice president for John McCain. This was in 2008.
That was what I was thinking too.
Give or take.
Yeah, it was somewhere in there.
Because McCain was running against Obama.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember they said that he had only met her one time. But because it appeared to be they needed to get the female vote, Sarah Palin had that, she had that look about her. She was an attractive woman. I remember one young lady, she said, "Oh, I wear the same lipstick that Sarah Palin has." Well, what does that got to do with how she will govern? But little things matter. But I remember asking 3 business leaders, Samantha, for you to have chosen the vice presidential candidate, how many times would you have met with her? And they, across the board, these 3 leaders, I won't name them, they said at least 3 times.
Absolutely. And you got to see them in different lights too.
What does that mean to you?
I feel like if you're meeting someone 3 times, especially for a vice presidential candidate, at least I would say minimum 3 times, but it has to be in different settings too. I think a sit down in an office is great. Like that's your initial introduction. But then maybe your next one's at a public place, a restaurant, coffee shop, something where they have to interact with the public, because this is going to be something that they have to do as a candidate, as a politician, someone in that spotlight. How do you react in that light? And then I think the next one has to be family. I think you have to do something with someone's family, because how they treat their family and how they can respond to your family or someone in your life that is of meaning to you, how they treat them. I just think you got to see them in different aspects. Absolutely.
So the three leaders that I talked to, and let me just tell you, these three leaders have run humongous companies. They said something similar. They said breakfast, coffee, just as an introductory kind of meeting. The second meeting would be somewhat in a public or office setting, looking for interaction with people. But the third meeting was dinner. They emphasized dinner, and they wanted to see what the person would do with wine.
Interesting.
Wine. How they respond to wine. I'm not a wine drinker. If I drink red wine, I'm going to sleep. So you're gonna miss me.
You don't have to worry about me saying anything on red wine.
But I just thought it was interesting that they, across the board, they talked about dinner. Dinner on the third meeting is like mandatory.
Interesting.
So
it's interesting that they go through all of the meals of the day. You can meet that person one day, one time.
I had lunch with Ross Perot Sr. This was years ago. We had won a project to do Parkland Hospital. We were doing the cutover for technology and all that stuff. But so Mr. Perot was excited that we had won the project. He said, I want to have that young man come out. Let's have lunch. So we're having lunch at Perot Systems. We're having dinner. We're having lunch, and it's mashed potatoes. It's a piece of chicken, maybe some English peas or green beans or something, and a roll. Real basic. Mm-hmm. We both said grace. I was going to say it one way or the other, whether he did or not. And then we started to eat. And then he said, Willis, I think we're going to have a long future together. I like that you didn't get the salt and pepper and put it on your food without tasting your food first. Because if you did, it meant you already had a predetermination that it needed salt, it needed pepper. What if it didn't? And I never thought about anything like that. And he said, we can do business together. If I had put salt or pepper on the mashed potatoes, no deal.
It's the little things. That's a small little detail. And it's funny, we just talked about this in a different meeting, and it was something along these similar lines. It was, if you don't follow this font, this particular font, this size, this type of font, immediately disqualified. And I took that as the same thing as what Mr. Perot would take that as, is if you can't follow that one basic small little instruction, how can I trust you with a $1 million contract, whatever it is?
There was another guy to that point, Don Williams. He was the CEO of Trammell Crow for years. He said he would take potential employees or clients out on the golf course, and if they hit the ball out of bounds and did not count the strokes, he made a mental note. I can't trust them.
Wow. I feel like there's so many people that have these little things. Gosh, I would love to have a list of all.
Oh,
the people.
yeah.
Yeah, this would be fun just to put in, not even names of who it came from, but just their small little things that they make note of for them that are a big deal.
And I wonder if that's still, what are those little things today?
Absolutely.
That we are using on other people, or they're using them on us, and you wonder why we never got the call back, or why that conversation never went any further. Is it because you were bald-headed, or was it because you had a beard, or Was it because you were blonde or, but I don't know. I mean, little things.
I've heard women's nail color before. That's come up. Is your nail color something that deters you from, or deters someone else from selecting you for certain things? Like I have thought about it before. I've thought to myself, should I get this nail color on my nails? Will it look bad? That's
color.
Crazy.
Well, along those lines, I don't think they still do it, but there were some offices back in the day, you could not wear open-toed shoes. Why? I have a theory about that, and then the other thing, it doesn't work anymore now. Women had to have on pantyhose.
Yeah.
Why? Clearly that's out now. That nobody pays any, I don't think.
I couldn't tell you last time I saw a woman wearing pantyhose. I really couldn't.
But in that era, those were.
Yeah.
So in Silence of the Lambs.
Never seen it.
What movies have you seen? Every time I talk to you about a movie,
list.
you've never seen
That's
movies.
a short list. I don't watch a lot of movies.
But in Silence of the Lambs, the original, Jodie Foster, I think that's her name. She's in the movie, and they told her, you can't wear open-toed shoes into prison. It drives the prisoners crazy.
Really? That's in the movie?
It's in the movie.
Okay.
That's a line in the movie. You can't wear open-toed. Little things. You never know what triggers a person or trips a person. So when you talk about leadership, as a leader, leaders are always looking for that edge, looking for that little thing that allows you to get the edge on. In football, I remember Robert Newhouse this is when the Cowboys were good. God, they're terrible now. Robert Newhouse was a running back, and they said the coaches noticed if he is going to get the ball, before the snap, he has his face mask, his mouthpiece in. But if he's just going to block and they're going to throw the ball, it's out. So it gave away when to rush and when not to rush. I mean,
little things, absolutely. What are your little things? Is it the virtual? Is that one? I feel like that's one of them, but it's.
Well, yeah, because with virtual, you
are these trade secrets that you can't give away
either? You can't tell in virtual. You can't tell if a person's really paying attention to you in a virtual meeting, even if they got the camera on all the time. I want to know, do you have on work clothes? Are you here for the moment, or do you just have on something from the top up, and this is only for 20 minutes? And no, I just want to know, are you fully? I don't like virtual. I have to deal with it. It's normal.
If I don't like it. If you're talking to a JBJ if you're a client, you're talking to a JBJ Management team member, just know that they are in the office in full work attire. Just know that.
Just remember, it's the little things that matter, not just from a leadership and work environment, but in family. Do you rub your wife's back? Do you call or send a text to say, I'm thinking about you? Just little things. The little things add up. So if you take water on a brick and let water on a brick for 2 years, the brick will break. Remember that. This is the JBJ Management Podcast. I'm Willis Johnson with Samantha Gordon.